Hey guys, James Wilson Taylor here for Rock Sound. It's another of our video calls. We're catching up with everybody while we're all stuck at home at the minute. But I'm delighted to say Shavo Odadjian's on the line. How are you, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Nice to finally meet you, albeit virtually. And I'll kind of
Yeah.
kick off with what we've kind of been asking everyone at the top of all these, which is to say, firstly, I hope you and your family, you've been staying as safe as you can in this weird time we're in. But how's your lockdown been going for you, man? What's it been like the last few months for you?
Well, I've had a lot of things to build on, We were actually this new project that just dropped, or we dropped a song last week. We're dropping the volume one this week. That was supposed to be in April, and then the whole lockdown happened, and then it was supposed to be in May, and then the whole riots happened, and then June, and I just kind of said, I'm going to wait. I'm going to postpone this to make it right. We backpedaled a little bit, paused, regrouped. August 7th we dropped. So yeah, it's been hectic, man. It's been trying to do a new project during a time like this is very, very weird. But I think everyone needs some new things to listen to, new music to listen to. So I'm really happy to be the one to drop one.
Absolutely. No, it's great when artists like yourself have been able to work on stuff in lockdown. And let's get right into it, man. It's North Kingsley. So first of all, tell me how this came together, because it feels like a very collaborative unit with you and these guys, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I always say this, I love to collaborate personally. I love giving an idea, getting an idea, giving an idea, boom. You know what I mean? It's just, that's how I like to work. I love meeting people, working with people, that's the way it's been with System with my songs. When I bring a song in, it's not like, here's the song from beginning to end, copy that. It's more like, here's a couple of riffs that work together. Let's work on it. And then boom, things happen. This project started off with me just kind of being frustrated and wanting to learn a new program. And I met Sorrow, and he was really good at Logic Pro. So I was like, that's a new program. I mean, it's not that new, but to me it was new because I'm a Pro Tools guy, So I was like, let me learn. He's like, oh man, I'll teach you anything you want. So he came over a couple times, once or twice. Second time we had something, we wrote something. I had an idea. He sat down. He was like this, and I'm like, yeah, dude. And then one more, sample this kind of beat, and boom, boom, and all of a sudden I played something. Wow, I was like, this could be something, man. This is it was so fluent, it was like water. It just happened. It wasn't stressful. I didn't have to try. It just happened. The fact that I didn't have to try made it happy and, like a good vibe. And so we just kept going, bro. We kept going. We wrote music, and then originally it was just going to be like a production unit, a production crew that made beats, made music different than anyone else, offered it to other artists, because we didn't have a vocalist. Plus, I have a lot of friends that do vocals, so I was like, maybe we can give it to them. Maybe we can do like a DJ Khaled kind of thing where we make the beats, we find a vocalist, put it together. There you go, And when Ray came in, Sorrow was working with Ray. Let me bring that in. Sorrow and Ray had this little project a long time ago, and I had heard it. It was cool, but it was different. You know what I mean? It had a different vibe than what I wanted to do. But when Ray came in and did it with our aesthetic, the shit got crazy good. And I was like, this is going to work, man. And then he's also very moldable and open, and he respects us. He respects me. So when he came in, and I think it's when we did the song, there's a song called Kids Love Guns that's probably going to be volume 3 or 4. When we did that track, I kind of went in with vocals like the way Rick goes in with Serge, kind of molding the vocals a little bit. And I did that, and it came out so different than anything we've done. And it was had an identity. There was something you should put a name on, It was this is different and it's cool. I can't believe we're doing it. Let's keep going without thinking. And when things are done without thinking in the studio, it's the best. You know what I mean? When you have to give it too much thought, it doesn't work out so well. But when you're not thinking and it just comes out of you fluently, it's just boom, there it is. Fluidly, I should say, fluidly.
Yeah.
And then once that happened, we just we were going in twice a week, and we started going in 4 times a week.
Wow.
Because we knew there was something coming up, something was happening. We didn't have a name, nothing. We just work is being done, and let's just keep going. And I have 3 kids. It's rough for me to every night leave wifey with 3 kids. It's not cool, but she's so supportive, and I just went in and we knocked it out, and we started knocking it out, and then we were born, man. That's how that's just how it happened.
Man, it's so exciting, and you can tell even just the little bits I've read from you guys already talking about the initial bits. You know, at the time of recording, we should say we've Like That's out there, and then obviously Volume 1, like you say, is kind of about to drop. But it's cool to hear you say that there's really different sounds moving forward, because, you know, like That's a great song, and it's got that kind of rap rock feel to it. But it sounds like, just reading about all the influences you guys have been wanting to play with, it's going to be quite a variety of sounds, I'm guessing, throughout these volumes, right?
Like That is just one characteristics of us. It's like the only thing I can compare. Okay, watch. The only the only thing that's in common with System and North Kingsley, well, besides having me in the group, is that each song has its own identity. You know, for example, our first album for System, you know, there was a song called Peephole, and then there was a song called Sweet Pea. I mean, completely different worlds, but still in the mold of System of a Down, and made that album complete, right? This band's like that too. There's not two songs that you could say, oh, those two songs sound the same, but there's a whole DNA that makes up the North Kingsley DNA. And those sounds and vibes are in every song, but just done differently. I didn't have a formula of songwriting style. It was just like whatever was coming out, like I said, let's drop it. And so I can't wait for you guys to hear what I'm going to drop today. And then next, I'm even thinking about doing volume 2 sooner, because I don't want long time in the past. I might just drop volume 2 like next month. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm thinking, I mean, I'd like to have a big catalog out there. I don't want to just be one song. That was the plan, but I don't know. Plans change, you know. Let me see what happens. Let's see how this is taken, and then I'll see when I'm going to drop volume 2, because I really want you guys to hear. I'm really excited for everyone to hear.
It's exciting, man. Like, how much stuff are you playing with at the minute then? Because like you say, it's fitting in these volumes. That's how you see it kind of dropping, rather than waiting ages for an album or something like that. Do you have a certain amount of songs you've already kind of got done and dusted? How many volumes do you see us going to here?
We have 4 volumes at the moment, done, complete, finished. So that's 12 songs. We have 2 more songs that are almost done. So that would make like volume 5 coming. But I don't know if I'm going to do volumes forever. I feel like, because the first 12 was the first like accumulation of tracks, I think, which would have been an album, you know, I feel like I split that one album up into 4, you know, because the main reason of doing that was just, we're a new act, we're a new band. It's really like a lot of different kinds of stuff happening, right? And I didn't want to drop it all at once, because I felt like it could get wasted, and it could have fallen to deaf ears, because, you know, people get an album, new artists, oh, I like this song, that song, and then all these 8 other songs just get like ignored, because there wasn't enough time to like listen to them and marinate on them, because it's, you know, I'm included in this generation. It's an ADD generation. We have iPhones. We have phones that, if you want, there's no you know, boredom anymore. It's just like, if I have my phone, I can do 30 things at a time. I could check an email, I could play a game, I could go to Instagram, I go to Facebook, I could, you know what I mean? I could make a design, I could doodle, it's like so many different things you can do at once. Your brain is used to going so many places, so it's hard to focus. And I feel like this way, dropping 3 songs, giving you like, you know, handing them out and saying, listen to these. I think 3 songs is not a hard thing to like take in, you know? 3 songs is good enough songs to like, each song to get its turn, and each song to get the time that it deserves to be listened to and marinated on and liked or not liked. I want people to dissect it. I want you to listen to it and be like, well, this part, I want that. I want to hear everything. And so that was the purpose, to break it up, to give every song the time that it needs to be in your head and in your ears, for you guys to like or dislike, and move on, you know? Because I know there's a lot of music that's going to be coming out from everyone else, so I don't want to be lost in the shuffle, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it would be nice to stay relevant and keep dropping, just steadily make music, you know? So we're a year ahead of ourselves with the music, but we're still going in 2-3 times a week and making new music. We're inspired by what's happening right now with people. I think Like That came out, we thought it was going to be 60-40, where 60% were going to say, it's not System, we don't like it. And we were going to work with the 40% that dug it. It's the opposite. It's like 80-20 of like people loving it. And then some people saying, well, it's not System of a Down. Well, no kidding, Sherlock. It's not System of a Down. It's me and my new project. I'm not trying to be System of a Down. We Are System of a Down, that already exists. You know, I'm not going to be doing the same thing because that's already being done with one band or has been done for 25 years. Why do the same thing? That doesn't set me apart from anything else. So there you go. That's the answer.
It makes sense, man. No, it's nice. I always admire people who do that when they want to try new things, particularly when you've had the success in the other band, like you say. It's nice to see you want to try new stuff and actually approach it in a different way. That's really, really cool, man. And we should mention System. I want to kind of start on System of a Down stuff, mainly with the live element, because, of course, you know, disappointing, but understandable. All the tours obviously up in the air. But something to look forward to, a lot of rescheduled dates next year. And one I particularly want to pick out, big return to Download Festival over here in the UK next summer. I mean, you guys are such veterans of Donington and Download now at this point. What are your memories of playing that festival in particular?
Just, first of all, Donington to me is Monsters of Rock, you know? Sure. When I was in the 80s, a kid in the 80s, I would always see the commercials on like and Headbangers Ball on MTV and stuff. They would show like Monsters of Rock, Kiss, Iron Maiden, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I want to go, but I can't. It's in England, you know? It's one of those legendary, you know, things that happen every year. And every time we've played it, it's like it's just the accumulation of bands that they get together. And the vibe that everybody has when you're there, just excited to see new artists and excited to see the old and the big ones, you know, the headliners. It's a weekend of like, it's like the original Coachella. You know, they had Coachella here with all these it's like the heavy metal Coachella. You know, there's a few of them in Europe, but Donington always is Donington. I mean, come on, you know? So, it's just there's no words. You can tell like that I'm excited, but it's hard to explain. It's one of those childhood things.
Yeah, I'm glad you're excited, man. It's definitely one for the calendar for us over here. It's going to be very, very exciting. And I do want to mention as well, just I've spied it over in the corner of the screen over where you are as well. I mean, it's a crazy coincidence because, of course, the tour was meant to be this year. But next year, it is going to be 20 years of Toxicity. And, you know, at the time of recording, I've just seen, you know, Linkin Park, similarly with their seminal album, Hybrid Theory, they've just announced all these reissue and celebration things. Have you guys talked about any type of celebrating for Toxicity, any way to mark that landmark at all?
Not yet.
Okay.
We haven't talked about any of that. It's awkward, man. I don't know. I'd love to celebrate it, but I don't know how we would do it just yet. But let's see how things move. You know what I mean? I've always been the one to like see how it happens. I don't like to plan something like that. But I hope they let us come out there next year. I hope it's not like they still hold us back and we got to postpone till 2022. You know what I mean? It would drive me crazy. But I'm knocking on wood. I'm hoping the best for the world. You know what I mean? Because we are living in a time that's just like unpredictable. I have no clue. I can't, like before they locked us up, I was saying, hell no, are they going to lock us up? How can they do that? How can they cut out small businesses? How could they, you know, because that's what I really feel for. Fuck me getting locked up. It's okay. I have a family. I'm chilling. I get to do work over Zoom. I get to talk to you. You know what I mean? That's okay with me. But I really feel for the small businesses. I feel for that, especially in America when they locked us up again. They closed up the little places. It's like I feel like it's a corporate takedown. The billion companies, the billion-dollar companies are making billions of dollars during the pandemic, and then the little companies are falling apart. It's just what's happening because they're shutting them down, and the big companies are taking over. The Walmart, the Amazons are taking over because that's the only way you can get something. The Targets, you know what I mean? They've become essentials and everybody else hasn't. It's crazy. So I did not believe that this could happen and the world could go on this way, but it is. But I really feel bad for the owners of small businesses who work their asses off, families, for years to build something out of passion and hard work. And then they have to just shut down because the government just tells them, now you got to shut down. You know, I get it. Safety. I'm all about it. Masks. I'm all about it. Of course, if it's going to help, I'm going to do it. It's not that I'm not one of those people. No way. I don't think it works. I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm not the one that says that. If it works, I'm doing it. If it works for the rest of the world, I'm going to do it. Now, but to shut down these businesses just like that without hesitation, saying this is the best thing for you guys, you know, it's some governor. Every state is different. Every state has another rule here in America. Everyone, that's why I think we are still in this pandemic so bad, apart from the rest of the world, because I don't feel like we have much unity. I think because it's like 50 states separate, everyone to each other, it's like to each his own. And one guy thinks, oh, we should shut everything down. The other guy thinks we should shut nothing down. One guy says we should wear masks. The other guy says no masks. We don't care. Masks don't work. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's up in the air. It's like a juggling. It's like, how do you align things when everything's in the air?
Well, it's so tough, and all those predicaments you just mentioned, it's something that we've been talking about a lot in the UK, and I'm sure in the States as well. It's about the music industry at large, because, it takes a village, as you well know. When people are putting on tours and everything, there are, the big rock stars on stage, and there's a massive production and a massive amount of people working all the way down to the grassroots level over here. And it's why, you say we are hopeful that shows next summer. There's a quote, I keep bringing it back with people when we have these conversations. I chatted with Ralph from Enter Shikari on one of these a while back, and he said, because they've now had to move their tour, but this is the second time they've moved it. And he said to me at the time, I don't care if we have to keep moving it. I want to know it's in the diary mentally. I want to know the shows will come back. Do you know what I mean?
I'm 100% with that. We're moving it. I don't know, man. We had 20 something shows planned for 2020. Now we have like 10 shows. It got cut in half. A bunch of stuff that changed. So it's like, I don't know. And then I feel for our crew. I feel for the ones that work day to day for their thing, for their income. This is what they do for a living, but now they're not not allowed to, and we don't know until when. So I wish them all the best, man, and hopefully this shit ends, man, and we can go back to normal. I don't like the term new normal. I hate that shit. What's wrong with the old normal? Let's bring it back. You know what I mean? I don't want to be okay with this new thing,
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Fingers crossed for shows, man. Fingers crossed. I really hope so. And lastly, I kind of want to mention to you as well, a good way to wrap it up, because I've seen you say a lot of quotes. You've been talking about new music. Obviously, of course, your head's in North Kingsley Motors. It should be right now. It's very exciting. But you were saying in a couple of places that you almost had some songs earmarked for systems should you guys want to work on it. Is that still true? Have you got stuff in the bank there ready if it happens?
I have this phone, right? And with this thing, I record everything. Everything I play. I realized something about myself. Before I wasn't like that. I realized that, I'll tell you this quick little story. So about 5 years ago, I changed my life. I changed how I live. I changed my pattern of doing things. I started working out. I quit certain things I was doing before. I've kind of balanced myself out and been like Superman. I'm different. I mean? By cutting certain things out of your life and by learning how to live healthy, your brain changes too, the endorphins, all this stuff. So I have goals, I have certain missions, right? With that came this new creativity that just started flowing out of me without me actually trying to do it. I'll grab a guitar, and during a jam, just by me, like, let's say if I grab a guitar right now for you, something will come out. And I've realized while it was coming in and I wasn't recording, shit was coming out and then going away. It was like I couldn't memorize everything I played that I thought was cool. So I started recording everything I play. And then I started listening to the recordings and breaking it down and finding parts that I thought would be rad for system. And I started breaking them down, recording them nicely, keeping them in a bank. Like I have these folders where I have labeled system, and I have these riffs that I know would work perfectly for a new system. So I still have that, man. I didn't use those riffs. And I thought 2017 something was going to happen. So I started really, really playing more and recording more and getting more riffs and more collections of riffs that work well together in my album, my photo album, my video album, saved album, I should say. For North Kingsley, it was more like I went in and I did that whole thing. I would do the jam I would do in recording, but I did it live recording into the computer. So we got everything, and everything happened sporadically. It's just nothing was planned for North Kingsley, like I said. All the riffs come out of me. It's like I just go blind, grab the guitar. I hear a beat that Sorrow came up with, like a basic one. I'll play to it. Things come out, and then we'll go back, and then we'll create the beat behind it more. The 4/4 will turn into a weird beat according to what type of riff I played or what type of vibe I brought. So having said all that, yes, I have a bank of stuff that I've jammed and I thought would be perfect for system, and I'm just, so I just put those away. There's more coming out, so it's not like I have lack of material. So those were always meant for system, and they'll be meant for system, and I'll see if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, they'll go somewhere else. But there's always something new coming out of me, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to wait and hope for the best.
Yeah, keeping creative, man. That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear you know still inspired, still hungry for it, still churning stuff out. It's
Yeah,
really, really
bro.
cool.
If I stop being hungry and inspired, I'll be dead.
Yeah, there we go.
You
Good
know what I
attitude to
mean?
have. Good attitude to have. I like it. I like that attitude, man. Shavo, it's really good to talk to you, man. I've been an admirer of System for a very long time. I've been very excited from what I'm hearing from your new project, and just all the best to you. And fingers crossed, we'll get to see you over here next year, man. All
Thank
right.
you, man. Yeah, I'm excited.
Good stuff, man. All right. Good to talk to you, man. Shavo.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.